Hello Ravenswood, how you doing? This is John. Just want to take a few minutes here and give you a basic tutorial on the hardware and equipment that you're going to use for your distance learning lessons. Um, as you can see, I have a camera set up here so you can actually see the physical equipment and the layout. In the bottom right hand corner of the screen, you can see this on my main laptop desktop. And then in the upper right hand corner, you have the second monitor. Upper left is obviously me on the webcam. So let's get to it. So we have three basic pieces of equipment here. We have a laptop, we have a document camera, and we have a second monitor that is especially helpful when you have a Zoom gallery of students or teachers, someone you're working with, and you can have them up here. All right, the trickiest thing with all of this is connecting one device to another, and there are a lot of connectors. Okay, so I just want to give you a basic idea of what the connectors are. If you can, and you can pause this video if you need to, but go ahead and pause the video and go ahead and gather your equipment and gather the wires or the dongles or the different connectors you have so that you can identify when I'm talking about the connectors that you have. So let's just do a basic, and I'm going to use the document. Sorry, not the document, but the dock, the laptop dock that many of you have. As you can see, my laptop just sits on its own and has connectors on the side. Many of you have a dock like this. I know the Revolve laptops have a dock. Okay, so some basics here, and I'm going to zoom in close right here. Okay, first of all, some of you may have a VGA cable for video. Looks like that. Probably everybody's pretty familiar. It's been around a while. Okay, that's a VGA cable. All right, next we have, and this is really only for the docks on the Revolve laptops, have this display port. Okay, another video. It's used just for video. And then we also have, this is your basic USB connector, okay, that we all use all the time. All right. And we also have, and I'm going to put down the dock right now and just show you. This is a HDMI that many of us probably have for our TVs at home or other devices like that. That's an HDMI. It's got that two angled corners like that. Okay, and again, you can see the VGA here and the USB. This right here may be a new one for some people. Okay, it's called USB-C, and it's a new fast connector that we use. And you may ask what this thing I'm holding is. This is the dongle that came with this laptop right here. Only a few of you are going to have this laptop and the dongle that goes with it. The purpose of this is that this USB-C goes into one of these two connectors here, and then once you have that plugged in, you can use all of these. And basically, it just saves space on the side and inside the laptop. So we're all going to be basically dealing with this, my version of the EliteBook that uses the dongle with the USB-C. The one earlier version of this EliteBook that has HDMI and regular USB on the side. In that case, you will not need the dongle. You can just use the HDMI and the USB. And then many of you also have the Revolve, okay, which is the computer that spins around. Okay, many of you will use the dock. If you don't use the dock, they have connectors like this on back of those Revolves. So I know it's a lot of techie stuff and it's a lot of connectors, but now we're just going to show you how you use them to connect. Okay, so I'm going to use my setup here as an example first. So what I want to do is I want to take the laptop and I want to connect it to the second monitor. Okay, so that I have more screen and I can move the Zoom gallery up here. Now, I'm not going to do it right here. I'm going to do that in the second video. We're just going to talk about connecting. All right. So basically, most of the screens that you have out there are going to use one of two things to connect. And again, right now, I'm just talking about these two EliteBook laptops. Okay. So they're going to use a combination of VGA and HDMI. you're gonna have to connect an HDMI into these laptops. And then using a dongle like this, you'll do the VGA. So HDMI out of the laptop, you'll connect the dongle to the blue VGA cord, and you'll see a VGA connector, okay, on the back of the monitor. If you have a newer monitor that actually has HDMI, well, then you can just go HDMI to HDMI. Okay, very simple. Okay, for those of you who have the older ones or the EliteBook, you will do one of two things. You'll take VGA straight out of the VGA from the back of the dock, and then connect the other end of the VGA to the monitor. Or some of you might have a dongle like this and go DisplayPort to the VGA, connect those two, and then the VGA will go, all right, to the back of the monitor. Just to point something out with two connectors so you can get an idea. These things look very similar. Okay, I'm trying to get it so you can see the difference. When you look at them up close, you can see the difference. The DisplayPort is on the bottom and has two right angles, like a box on one side, and has one of the angled corners. HDMI is thinner, but the main thing is it has an angled corner on both sides, here and here. Again, the DisplayPort just has one on this side, angled corner. HDMI has an angled corner on either. So that's how you tell the two apart. Just a good thing to know if you're going through cables. All right. And again, for those of you who have this newest version of this HP that I have, you will need to use this dongle to do your connections. Okay. So that should cover you on the monitors. As far as the dock cams, this should be simpler. Okay. All of us are just going to use this cable, which has a regular USB, all right, and then has a mini USB on the other side. You may recognize this as a phone charger, other devices. GoPros used to have this connector. It's an older connector. It's a mini USB, all right? This will go into your laptop, the regular USB. This will go into the back of the dock cam. Now, my dock cam has this connector. Sorry, get it so you can see it a little better. With light. There you go. It is right there. You can see the word letters right there, USB. All right, some have the USB connector here. Not this one. Okay, this is for a different use. It's the smaller USB that we're using. This one that goes into the dock cam. All right, and then this would go either into the side of the laptop or using the dongle. That's basically it. How we're connecting the laptop to the document camera and a second monitor. I hope this was helpful and gets you set up with your equipment. Now in the next video, I will go through how to set up Zoom and utilize all these devices together. Hope that was helpful. Thanks.